2021. Gold bounces back to 5,000 as of today, February 2nd, 2026. Gold, $5,010 is up a few $100. Silver's up too. I think it was at $88 right now a few minutes ago when I checked. Anyways, there was a huge sell-off on Friday. A huge, a massive pullback. I think it dropped to like $74. Anyways, it was a buying opportunity. You snooze, you lose. If you spoke and you sold, I feel bad for you, man. You gotta step your game up. Anyways, back at it. I haven't uploaded videos in a few days. I've been really busy. I went to go buy some silver on the dip. I don't buy silver online, like through silver dealers, like most people do. Through you have these famous bullion dealers like SD Bullion, Battalion Metals, other dealers. I actually go. I know I personally have a precious metals dealer, and I deal with him directly. I don't, just because I'd rather just pay for it and have hold it in your hand as soon as I pay for it. No shipping involved. Spot price, $2 premium above spot. I think it's fair. And yeah. Anyway, so I did load up on some silver. Bought a few ounces. Spent a lot of money. Bought some silver for the homeboy. One of the homies, he wanted some silver, and last week when we saw that at 120, and I did buy silver at $110 before it reached to 121. All I bought was 1 ounce, and this is what I'm telling you guys: dollar cost average. This is what I've been telling everyone: dollar cost average. Who cares if silver went up to 121? I only bought 1 ounce when it was at that price, right? I've been consistent with it. I buy every week. I use the same principles as I use in the stock market. And keep in mind, I don't believe in the stock market anymore. I kind of changed my philosophy on that. But like the basic investing principles. Let's say you want to invest in the S&P 500, right? You're better off investing on a consistent basis for large, for a period of time, and you'll see results. I apply the same thing with precious metals and with silver and gold. And I don't understand, I see this online where people say, oh, silver, keep in mind, today silver's trading at $88, right? Silver's in the moon. Silver's gonna hit. It's gonna hit 500. You see all these crazy predictions, and then one thing I know is that nobody knows nothing. Nobody knows the future. Unless you're one of these big banks, and you know what these governments are doing. Oh, look, check it out, the Palace of Fine Arts to the left. We're on Lombard Street, getting off the Golden Gate Bridge, commuting into the city, San Francisco. Anyway, so where was I going with this? Oh yeah, but nobody bats an eye. Nobody makes a big deal when it comes to investing to the S&P 500 or these AI stocks. Excuse me. So, why is it that people say, oh, it was a sell-off, it was a crash. Everyone who bought silver at 100 and at its peak, you guys lost everything, and that's not how it works, right? Especially if you're dollar cost averaging. During this pullback, my buddy, he spent over $2,000. He bought over $2,000 worth of silver. I bought a lot of silver too, and out here in California or San Francisco, when you purchase precious metals, if you spend under $2,000, you gotta pay a 10% tax. Anyways, that's kind of how people get around that. They have to spend a little bit more, and that's how my buddy gets around it, right? Or how we get around it, where we know we'll save up some money, or we already have the money, right? But I'm not gonna spend $2,000 worth of silver on all-time highs. I don't know if that makes sense. In order to avoid taxes, but I will still be purchasing silver. I just won't be making these big purchases just because I don't want to pay taxes. I don't know if that makes sense. So once these dips do come around, you take advantage of the dip, you buy in, and you avoid taxes at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense. Anyways, and here's another one. I have a gold precious metal testing machine and kit. So whenever, and here's another one, whenever I buy precious metals, let's say I want to buy off the internet or off someone that's selling on let's say on the classifieds, online classifieds, I'll test it out. If it's legit, I'm not saying, I don't know, don't take my word, I don't know if this is legal, right? But it's a cash transaction between two individuals, and nobody knows nothing, and the state doesn't know anything. You don't have to pay taxes, which is a point I'm trying to make. Anyway, so I loaded up on some silver. I don't know about you guys, but even the silver miners kind of went down a little. They tanked. The silver miners did tank. From what I've been hearing is that silver miners is where the real money is going to be made, and is where it's really going to be booming. I personally don't know how to analyze, or I haven't done my research on the silver mines, or just like gold miners, or just miners in general. I even hear copper mines are pretty good too, but if anyone knows out there, because I know Peter Schiff recommends the mines all the time, and I trust Peter Schiff, right? But like I say, I always take all the information that's out there with a grain of salt, because you never know, right? But what I want to get to is, if you guys know about any silver miner, or just any miners that you guys recommend, or how to actually properly, vet a mine, let me know. Drop the comment down below, because that's the get down. To keep expanding your knowledge, so you can rely. So as time goes on, you don't have to rely on these systems, and just, I don't know, I'm kind of radical like that, where I prefer not to deal with the banking system, or just these corrupt systems where they manipulate. I mean, look at the COMEX. That's, from what I hear, that's one of the reasons the price dropped, or the CME group. That's what I meant, where they raised the margins, and there was a huge sell-off. I can't verify that. I haven't really looked into it. I just, these past few days, I've been really busy. But anyways, get your chicken up, get your money up, prepare yourself. You see the news out there, where I've seen this on Fox News, right? They're pushing crypto really, really hard. This is gonna be the new new way of doing finance with the crypto, and supposedly they're going against the banks. And what were they saying on Fox News? I was gonna say something that they I heard a clip of that. This was today. I think it was today. Yeah, I heard a clip of Donald Trump Jr. rightfully criticizing the banks. I think he's spot on this, where he doesn't understand why, or he doesn't like the fact that the banks, through, let's say through the weekend, you can't do a direct wire transfer, and just the inefficiencies of moving money around the world, right? I believe that I'm 100% on board with him. And he was saying that the blockchain is. My point is that they're embracing crypto, right? They're pushing a little too hard for my liking. And when the media, when you have the media and everyone's supporting this, whatever it is, doesn't have to be crypto, right? You saw it on the .com, in the .com bubble. Everyone was .com. I wasn't around at the time, but from the stories that I hear, it's if it had .com, you made it. And it's the same thing right now. If it's any kind of crypto, it's bound to boom. And I don't know about you guys. I personally don't crypto's not my thing. I'm not saying you can't diversify, because I do believe in diversification. But I don't, I understand it, but I don't. But it's just, I get it what Donald Trump Jr. was saying about the direct transfer, but what's stopping the banks from adopting that technology? What's stopping the bank? They want to charge fees. The excuses are the banks are charging fees, and just all these inefficiencies, and why you can't pull your money out after certain days because of the banks are closed. I understand all that. I'm just saying, if crypto was really a threat to the banking system, like how they portray it is, and how we should adopt it, why the hell aren't the banks adopting it? I just assume, these banks know something that we don't know. I see the banks. I don't see the banks loading up on Bitcoin or cryptos. I see them loading up on massive amounts of gold, massive amounts of silver. That's what I see. That's what they're showing us. That's not what they're telling us. They're telling us about crypto. But what they're actually showing us is that they're stockpiling, and they're not showing us right in our face. You actually have to go out there and look for this information. Anyways, I don't even know where I'm going with this video, but my point is that I bought some silver in the dip, bought a little bit more, spent more money than I wanted to, but oh well. If we get another dip, hey, it could possibly dip back to, we could see another dip and it goes down to 60. Even though silver's about to hit $9, we're like $1. We hit 89, so we're probably like $1.50, just under 90 again. But hey, we already hit the 3-digit mark, and it looks like it's climbing back up there. And I don't, you see you guys saw the new Fed chairman being announced, and I honestly don't believe that anything's gonna change. The big beautiful bill had a lot of more spending than what it increased. Government spending, the balance sheet, the national debt, what else? Just everything that's going on. And I deal with a lot of cars too. I want to bring this up there, bring it up before I cut the video. I want to keep this video short. I deal with a lot of cars, and people are defaulting on their cars like you guys don't even know. I got a buddy, and who does? I got a few buddies that do that tow, do repo tows, towing for tow truck companies with people who haven't paid, who's missed a few payments on their vehicles, and they're booming right now. They're making a lot of money by taking people, repossessing people's vehicles. He's like, you'd be surprised. He's like, you. This is what he was telling me, right? That there's a lot of nice cars. There's people that you would never think of. Just go to these nice neighborhoods, and you would never know that these people were underwater on their car and they couldn't afford them. Right? Just people from all aspects of life. They've over leveraged themselves. Yeah. And if people can't, if we're to the point where people can't even afford their point A to point B transportation, that's a bad sign. At least to me, right? Where people can't even afford to keep up with their cars. And before I finish it off, right? He was also telling me that the yards are getting filled with thousands of cars. That the yard where they were working at, they had to lease another property, and they've never done this in business. They've been in business for 25 years. Repo tow company, and they had to lease another property to store the vehicles that they've been impounding for the past 2 years. That's crazy. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I follow the philosophy. I'm not really big into car notes. That's a whole separate video though, but I like to drop a beater with a heater. I don't like to be a slave to the bank. That's why I don't have a car note. I don't have credit card debt. And yeah, if you guys want a video on how I save money during inflationary times like today, drop a comment. And I live in a big expensive city. Out here, everything's expensive out here. And I'm just a regular Joe that still manages to save money, still have a decent, lifestyle. I'm not rich. I'm not a middle class. I'm not in the middle class either, but I don't have the vast majority of financial issues that these most people have when it comes to their finances. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that like, subscribe button down below. I'm trying to get these numbers up. I'm trying to show you guys around the city. Yeah. Don't get scared. Don't let these paper contracts spook you. Remember, there's more contracts out there than there's actual physical silver. And if you know that, you're good. Anyways, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.